Hello guys and welcome once again to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. I'm Greg and I'm going to be giving you a predicted lineup and some team news for our midweek fixture Tuesday game against Newcastle. It's a team that kind of picks itself. I'm going to start by giving you what I predict Ancelotti, I nearly went with Marco Silva, what Carlo Ancelotti will go with, but I'm also going to give you a little idea of what maybe I would change, just sprinkled out through in there. So I'll say the team that I'll end with, and you'll see on screen at the end, isn't necessarily the team I'd go for, but I'll give you some discussion points for what I would change, and then you guys say in the comments if you agree more with what I predict or more what I'd hope for. So in terms of injury news, I've just come off the press conference. Michael Keane's a doubt for this game. Richarlison's out still. And Sigurdsson and Iwobi are still out. Obviously, we have the long-term midfield. Gabamin and Gomez are both still out. So as I said, with those injuries, the team somewhat picks itself. Obviously, it's going to be Pickford in goal. Luca Dean, Yerry Mina, Mason Holgate. And then you have a bit of a question over Coleman or Sidibe. I would say here Sidibe because with such a midfield as we have at the moment, Delph and Davies, there's not much of a creative channel through the midfield, through the centre of the pitch. Neither of those two are progressing the ball very well at the moment. What we saw last week is those two, Davies especially, I'm sad to say, just turning over play constantly. If they were looking for those forward balls, very few of them were successful. In fact, even the pass backs were shoddy to say the least. So I think having Sidibe on, who is such a good creative force, and having two full-backs, I know Dean's not looking so good this season, but I think he still has the same amount of assists as Sidibe. I think having those two as a creative outlet, and I know it's a sort of Marco Silva-esque style of play, but getting those early crosses into the strikers, with such an uncreative midfield, that could be one of our only real outlets of creativity. So I'd have those two starting as my fullbacks, and I think Ancelotti will as well. So I'll call that an overlap in my prediction and my hopes. And then because we're hamstrung on personnel, I think the two in the midfield is once again going to be Delph and Davies. That's what I predict. It's tough. It's just, no one wants, the other option, the Morgan Schneiderlin solution to come in. So that really is the best we have right now. And maybe if Besic was still around, even he'd be a good option. Maybe get a game. But the one thing I'd maybe consider here, and this is just off the top of my head really, is take Davies out, keep Delph in, and maybe bring Bernard inside and have Bernard and Delph in the midfield. When Bernard's at his best, he can really run a game and be creative through the centre. We saw it a couple of games ago against Brighton, I think it was. He had a really good game. Maybe if Bernard comes in and then, free up someone like Gordon to just have a good game, like really good few minutes under his belt out on that side, and have Bernard and Delph, two quite opposing players. Delph hold back, Bernard sort of be given more of a free rein. It would just allow us to run that midfield. Just a thought. Let me know if you guys agree with that. But my prediction will be Delph and Davies with Bernard out on the left and Walcott out on the right. Maybe it'll be Sidibe playing right mid and Coleman at right back, but my prediction for the moment is Walcott to stay out there. And then again, because of the personnel issues, it's going to be Moise Kean and Calvert-Lewin up front. Kean had a rough outing last time, mostly because of the lack of service he was getting. He didn't have much to feed off. I think he looked bright in spells, but he didn't have a great time of it, let's be honest. But more minutes is only going to be a good thing for him. So, keep cracking. Whilst Richarlison's out, it's a perfect time just to get minutes under his belt. You can rely on Calvert-Lewin to probably get us a goal to get us through the game, and Moise Kean can just learn and feed off having game time, getting Premier League experience, and just getting the minutes, which I think is absolutely crucial for him at this point of development. So that's my team. That's my prediction. I've told you a bit about what I might change, but my prediction is Pickford in goal, Luca Dean, Yerry Mina, Mason Holgate and Sidibe, Bernard on the left, Davies and Delph in the midfield, and Walcott outright with Keane and Calvert-Lewin up top. Let me know what you guys think of that team. Is that what you'd go with? Let me know what you guys think of some of the things I've suggested. If you think they're good ideas or awful ideas, I might be barking up the complete wrong tree with that. Let's hope we can grind out some more results, some more points. Just hope we can keep our legs above the surface up until that midfield's back. We can really start to build on something. It's quite a big game. I think we're on the same amount of points as Newcastle. So we beat them and we look like we're pushing up the table. We lose to them and it looks like we're slipping back down. So, best of luck to the boys, and I'll see you guys next time.